everyone, my name is Amber, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a book haul, which I didn't think I would be quite so soon because I'm not meant to be buying books, but I keep going to the library and I keep going to the charity shop on my lunch breaks because it's kind of a way for me to de-stress. Because if you don't know, I recently got promoted and my job hasn't changed too much because I was already doing a lot of the job, but it is a little bit more intense, and also I have a lot more responsibility now. I'm trying to take regular breaks in my lunch break to kind of just go for a quick walk, go browse around the shops, and that of course leads me into the local charity shops. There are 3 right by me, about a 5-minute walk away. I keep buying books and that's really bad. So I'm actually still on track for my goal, which is 1 book a week. I'm doing really well with that, but I do have lots of books here to show you because I've also been to the library because I really enjoy browsing around the library as well. So first I want to show you the books that I bought myself because they're very exciting, I think, and then we'll get on to the library books that I'll have to return eventually. The first book is The Lost Man by Jane Harper. I have already read this one, so it doesn't count towards my TBR. Jane Harper is one of my all-time favourite thriller authors. She's in my top 2, her and Ruth Ware. Her books are set in Australia. This one in particular is set, I think, in like northern Australia, like in the outback. It's basically desert, and it's based around some siblings. One of the brothers goes missing, his body is found dead, and then there's a whole mystery surrounding that. What I really loved about this one was the relationships between the siblings and how Jane Harper explored them. They weren't perfect relationships in any way, and the brothers also had a kind of rubbish relationship with their dad, to say the least. I think this book really focuses on relationships more than the mystery, but it's still a very, very good thriller, and I love the twists and turns that it took. I love the setting as well. Jane Harper does so well with her Australian settings. I love them. So I'm really glad that I found this one in the charity shop because I don't normally buy thrillers because I don't tend to reread them, but I know that Jane Harper's books are ones that I will reread, and I already have the dry, so I just need to get to her 2 other books, and hopefully more if she brings out more, which I'm really hoping she does. Another one that I had already read, and so it doesn't count towards my TBR, or it didn't, is Spqr by Mary Beard. This is non-fiction. I listened to this as an audiobook about 5 years ago, I think. It's basically about the history of Rome, ancient Rome that is, and it covers 1,000 years of ancient Roman history. I really enjoyed the narration of the audiobook, and I just wanted this to reference, and since it was only £1 in the charity shop, I thought I would keep it, and I'm going to start a little non-fiction shelf either here or at my office. I haven't decided yet. I think it would just be cute to display the non-fiction books that I really enjoy. I also bought The Thursday Murder Club, which I have since read and didn't enjoy, so I'm really glad that I got this for £1. It's a hardback. It was clearly a Christmas gift because someone has chopped off the price, which amused me. I don't really know why. So this one is a mystery book. Richard Osman is famous for something, I can't remember what, and I think that's why this book has gotten so much publicity, because I don't think it's the most well-written book. It's very, very slow for a mystery. Basically, it's set in a retirement village. Most of the characters are really old people who have all retired and they're not able to live separately in their homes, so they have moved to this village where they can live in homes separately, but you know, it's a community now. And there's a murder and then perhaps a couple more, and I was really intrigued by the idea. I just found it really, really slow and difficult to get into, so I didn't like it. I talk about this more in my February wrap-up, of course. I will probably be giving this back to the charity shop. I also bought Mouse. My partner Quill wanted to buy this and I pitched in because it's quite expensive for a book, so we decided to buy it together. I have already read this one. I talk about it more in my February wrap-up. I enjoyed it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. It's very dark and bleak. I don't really want to say that I can see why it's being banned. Like, I get what issues parents are having with it, but I hate that it's being banned in the first place, and that is half the reason why we decided to pick this up when we did, because it's been on my wish list for ages, like absolute years now. It's quite an old book as well, but the recent controversy about it being banned has made us want to pick it up sooner, so I'm really grateful for that, kind of. And then my final purchases before we get onto the library books are 3 massive hardcovers that I bought for £2 each, so I'm so impressed with this. They are books 2, 3 and 4 in the Lightbringer series, which I haven't actually started yet. I've had the first book for absolute years and I haven't read them, or I haven't started it. So I've actually introduced a new goal to my reading challenge for this year, and that means if I buy follow-on books in a series that I haven't started, I do need to start the series the following month, because otherwise I'm never going to get to these books. So I got The Blinding Knife, which is book 2, The Broken Eye, which is book 3, and The Blood Mirror, which is book 4. I couldn't find the last book in the charity shop. I'm hoping someone will donate it soon, so I'm gonna have to go back and check it out. But in any case, I'm really pleased with the deal I got on those. Obviously I got them for £6, which is half the price of just one hardcover. I don't normally like hardcovers, but I couldn't pass up on that price. So I'm really pleased with myself, and I will be going back to the charity shop and seeing if they have any of the other books, or I think there's only one more actually after that. So now we're on to the library books that I borrowed recently. My library has had a really good selection recently. I think they've had more funding than usual. I don't know. I do live in quite a good library system. It's not as good as Oxfordshire, but Buckinghamshire is alright as well. I have quite a few library books, admittedly, because I wanted to borrow some thrillers for my February challenge, which was 28 books in 28 days. And then I went back again and found some other books that I thought I might like. So let me show you those. First of all, we have Certain Dark Things by Sylvia, Morena, Garcia. I started this morning as I am filming this. By the time you're watching this video, I've probably already read it and shared my thoughts on it, maybe. This is dark urban fantasy about vampires. She calls it vampire neon noir or something. Very much looking forward to getting into this one. It's also quite short, so perfect for February. I got An Anonymous Girl, which is the second book by these two authors. It's an adult thriller book. I don't know much about it. I don't read synopses for thrillers or any books really, but mostly thrillers, so I can't really tell you any details. I'm hoping to read this very, very soon. I did enjoy the author's first book that I read, and I've seen mixed things about this one, but I'm going into it with an open mind. I also picked up Piranesi. No one knows how to pronounce this. I have no idea what this book's about. I just know that it's very strange and a lot of my friends have really enjoyed it. So when I saw it in the library displayed there, I just had to pick it up. Why is this focusing on my eye? Yeah, no idea what it's about. It's apparently very strange. I might try to read it by the end of February when I'm recording this, but I haven't really decided yet. I also picked up a couple of other thrillers, one being The Nanny by Gilly Mcmillan. No idea what this one's about other than there's a nanny who might be evil. I don't know. That was definitely a plot of One Tree Hill. I don't know if you guys remember, but I loved that subplot so much. It was fantastic. Okay, so it says here that the 7-year-old's nanny disappears overnight and then she returns home 30 years later, and then human remains are found in the grounds of the house. So maybe it's not about the nanny being evil, maybe the nanny has been murdered. I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. I don't know why I bothered saying that, because obviously I'm looking forward to reading all of these, otherwise I wouldn't have borrowed them from the library. Another thriller I picked up was The Castaways. I again have no idea what this one's about. While people are on holiday, beautiful beaches, golden sunsets, nothing for miles, you can't leave. I'm not sure if this is kind of a magical sort of thriller where the island is killing people, or if there are people on the island killing people. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. Moving on to some sci-fi, I picked up The Doors of Eden by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I do have this one from NetGalley, but I saw it in physical form, and because it's quite chunky, I decided to borrow it because I do better with chunkier books in physical format, because on my e-reader I feel like I'm just constantly turning the page. I don't know how much is really left. But with this, I've got some like clear goals to aim towards. This one I think is sci-fi about parallel universes or parallel earths, something like that. I love that trope, subject matter, I don't really know what to call it. So I'm really pleased to have found this in the library. I also got Far From the Lights of Heaven by Taylee Thompson. I don't love his other series, Rosewater. It was terrible. He went into really weird descriptions about sex and penises, and the main character was basically like he was in heat. He was just constantly stopping conversations and in the middle of scenes just going to have sex. It was very, very weird and I hated it. So I gave that 1 star and didn't carry on with the series. But I'm hoping he might have grown as an author and doesn't have to rely on weird sex scenes as much anymore. So I think this is about a colony ship set in space, traveling light years, 1000 sleeping souls, distress call, colony planets, interstellar. Those are some buzzwords for you. Like I said, don't really read synopses, but I'm in the mood for some sci-fi, so I picked up this one. Another sci-fi book I got was Chilling Effect. A lot of my friends have read this one and said that it's really, really strange, and I don't do well with quirky books, so I'm not sure about this one, but that's why I got it from the library. So this is about kidnappers, alien emperors, psychic cats, and the main character being out of coffee. And you can see on the cover, if you can get past the shine, there are cats. Which I thought was adorable. If I'm prepared for it, I can do well with quirky books. Most of the time, it depends obviously on who's writing it, how it's written. So I'm going into this one with an open mind, but also kind of a bit of hesitancy because I'm not entirely sure I will love it. We will see. And then we just have 2 more to go. The first one is Viper by Bex Hogan, who I follow on Twitter, or I think I did, and they seem like the loveliest person, and I wanted to support their work. I think this is the first book in the series. I believe it's like pirate fantasy. I don't really know much more about it. It says here that the most dangerous man on the ocean is the main character's father. She was born to protect the islands and she needs to fight for them. Something about a boy she loves, because I think it's YA, which I'm not against. I'm just not reading much YA right now, but I think this is going to be a very fast read and I need to recap it for Recap Tins and help promote it because I do enjoy the author. That's a really weird way of putting it. And then finally, the last book I got for this book haul is Senlin Ascends, which I also found in the library, hence the shine. I'm really pleased with this one because I've had it on my wish list on Amazon and Waterstones for the longest time. I saw it in Waterstones the other day and I thought I might buy it, but I didn't. And then I decided to look it up on my library system and they had the first book. I don't think they have any of the others, so if I love this book, I will probably have to buy it and then buy all the rest. But I'm very, very pleased with finding this in the library because it's quite an expensive book and I'm not sure I'm going to love it. So this is fantasy. I don't really know much much about it. I just know that the main character's wife is either killed or kidnapped, and he has to avenge or go to find her, because I don't know which one. In doing so, he has to climb the Tower of Babel, and each floor is something different, I believe, and that each book covers a different floor of the tower. That's all I know about it. It may be wrong, this is just what I've picked up over the years on BookTube. I have heard from my friends that the way that the wife is treated in this book is kind of problematic and not great, in that she is treated as more of a plot point to further the main character, the male main character's progression. I'm prepared for that, so I'm going into this knowing that, and I have been told that follow-up books in this series improve upon that, so I'm really hoping that that's the case. I'm really looking forward to reading this one, and I'm hoping I can marathon the series if I do love it. And that was it. Those are all of the books that I bought or acquired recently. There will probably be more in the next month or so because I keep going to charity shops, and I don't hate that. I have to be honest, it's not the worst habit in the world to be donating to charity and to be picking up books, and I have found that it has been really helping my mental health, so that's good. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know if you think I should start reading any of them soon, which ones you'd recommend to me. By the time this video is going up, I've probably read some of them because I need to return some to the library, of course, but let's be honest, I will probably be renewing them instead. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll speak to you all in my next one. Bye!